ahead and shrug your shoulders up towards your ears. Allow them to fall down and back. And if you want, just take any movement here that feels good. So maybe you start to roll your one ear to one shoulder and then back through center and your other ear to the other shoulder. And you can close your eyes if that helps to start to just like draw inward a little bit more. And then see if you can just let your shoulders drop away from your ears. And then notice if you're holding any tension in your jaw, can you soften it? So maybe you notice if you're pressing your tongue up to the roof of your mouth. Let that go. And take a big breath in. See if you can feel your chest just expand. Maybe your belly expands. And a deep breath out. Imagine you just like land exactly where you are, exactly as you are. Nothing to do, nothing to fix. If even just for that like one breath. Because we often transition from like one headspace to finding a seat. And it's not always like immediate where we just instantly feel calm. And that's okay. So give yourself a little bit of grace. Where your mind wants to go, just notice it. And when we find a seat or we find meditation, as we'll call it, it's not about like erasing our mind, right? Like just clearing it all out completely. It's just about becoming a little more aware of where your mind wants to go, where it travels to, and then what can you bring it back to? Something more intentional, possibly. Maybe it's your breath. It might even just be like starting to notice the sounds around you, but making the effort not to react to them. And then maybe that translates a little bit more, permeates into our thoughts, where we notice our thoughts, we're aware of them, we get to observe them. But then we choose maybe not to react to every single one. So keep your eyes closed, just a few more breaths right here. So really trace your inhale all the way up to the top, and maybe you notice a slight pause once you get there. And then breathe all the way out until you are empty, and maybe just a slight pause once you are there. And do that a few more times. Breathe all the way in to the top. All the way out to the bottom. Maybe letting your inhale sit you up just a little bit taller, find length through the spine. And then your exhale allows you to invite in that calm, that grounding, that sense of pause. And as you sit up nice and tall, just bring your hands to your knees if they're not already there. Think about the top of your head reaching up just a little bit higher. Take a deep breath in and start to send your chest forward slightly. Roll your shoulders back just a little bit more, maybe even soften through the elbows. And then start to lift your chin So the front side of your body just grows a little bit bigger. And then as you exhale, send your shoulders forward, think chin towards your chest. And you get to round your upper back and slightly lean back. Do that one more time. Maybe rock forward, chest forward, chin lifts, shoulders back, elbows back. And then exhale, do the opposite. You get to round your spine, drop your chin to your chest, lean back. And then you'll come back to neutral. Reach your hands all the way up and overhead. Take a deep breath in. And then use your exhale to twist to the right. So bring opposite hand, opposite knee. Maybe even look over your right shoulder. And then you'll rise back up through center. Deep breath in to get a little longer. So nice. And then exhale, twist over to the left. Look over your left shoulder. Do that one more time. Rise back up through center. Breathe in. Exhale to twist to the right. And then back through center, breathe in. Twist to the left. And then back through center, take a deep breath in. I want you to interlace your fingers together and flip your palms up towards the sky. See if you can imagine pressing the ceiling away. You might even look up towards your hands. And then slowly start to come back to center with your chin, right? And then lean over to the right. Keep that interlacing of the hands here. Stretch through the left side. And then back up through center. Tip over to the left. And then you'll rise back up, split the hands, slowly walk them forward and crawl into that tabletop position if that feels okay. So if you have that cushion under your knees, make sure it's there. You can even keep that pillow right there, same idea where your knees can come right on top of it. If you have those sensitive knees, creating that nice little cushion. So spread your fingers really wide apart, right underneath your shoulders. And then your toes can be tucked or untucked, whatever feels better for you. And then we're going to work through the movements of the spine here. So all 6 movements. So just like we did in a seat, take a breath in, start to lift your chin and lift your chest for cow pose. Maybe even drop the belly down and feel the tail rise. And then exhale, press down into your hands and round your back and drop your head. Think chin to your chest. Do that one more time. Inhale, drop the belly and lift through the chest. Breathe in. And then exhale, press down through your hands, round your back, drop your head, find cat pose. And then come back to neutral, like right in the middle. Start to reach your right hand up towards the sky. Take a big breath in. Now, as you exhale, think about threading the needle. So right hand in between your left hand and your left knee, just reach it over to the left. You're not going to land on the ground, just reach, a little twist. Do that one more time. Inhale, rise back up. And then exhale to twist. And then slowly bring that right hand back down to the ground and you'll switch. Left hand, reach it up if that feels good. And then exhale, thread it through. One more like that. Inhale, rise up. And exhale, thread it through. And then slowly come back to center. And then just take lateral movement side to side. So your right ribs over to the right. Left ear to your left shoulder, left hip to the left. And then come back through center and then the other side. Just lean to the left. Think about creating the letter C with your spine and then do that again on your own. So to the right, through center and to the left. Tuck your toes under, come back through center. I want you to walk your hands towards your knees and just lift your seat up. Land in a forward fold. So you can heel toe your feet nice and wide. Walk your hands, maybe up your legs, but bend your knees a lot. So you can feel your low back just melt, start to round. And then if you want, if it feels okay, sway side to side or stay still. It's your choice. Take a full breath in. Big breath out. And then bring your hands to your shins, reach your heart forward. Find a halfway lift on your inhale. And then exhale to refold, bend the knees a lot, and then bow the chest. Now, halfway lift again. Huge inhale to reach the heart forward. Bring your hands to catch your hips, And then press all the way up or stand all the way up to rise. Now press through your feet. You might even heel toe them back so they're right underneath your hips. Take your arms down along your sides and flip your palms forward. Shrug the shoulders as you breathe it. Open your mouth, a nice sigh as you let them drop down and back. Now start to reach your hands all the way up. Take a deep breath in. And start to bend your knees, sit back into chair pose right away. Now use your inhale to lift your heart a little higher. And then exhale, tip it forward and sweep your arms back like wings. You're still sitting in that seat. If it feels okay in your knees, take a breath in, rise up. And then exhale, tip the chest forward and sweep the arms back. Just 2 times, that's it. And then you'll stand up, take a deep breath in. Interlace the fingers above your head, flip your palms up, press the ceiling away, and then lean over to the right. And then come back up through center, take a deep inhale. Lean over to the left. Now back up through center as you inhale. Start to just slowly twist to the right. So think left hand forward, right hand goes behind you. You're still standing up. It's like an open arm T twist. Now rise back up through center. Right hand forward, left hand behind you, twist to the left. Now rise back up through center, take a deep breath in. Sit back into that chair pose just as you exhale. Take 1 breath in to lift the heart a little higher. Now this time, exhale, fold forward through soft knees. A halfway lift to send your chest forward. Think a flat back through the spine. And then as you exhale, walk the hands to downward facing dog. Your first one, you'll spread your fingers wide. Maybe start to bend the knees a lot here. You can start to pedal out the feet if that feels good. Maybe shake the head, yes and no. Take 1 more breath in, you'll rise up to your toes. And then on your exhale, drop your knees back down, tabletop pose. Take a breath in to lift your heart, find that little bit of a back bend, cow. And then breath out, press down through your hands and round through your back, cat pose. And then it's back to neutral. Slowly start to tuck your toes. Walk the hands back towards your knees and lift your seat. Land in that forward fold at the back of your mat. Halfway lift right away this time. Breathe in, hands catch your hips. And then exhale to press down through your feet, stand all the way up. And you'll rise. So sweep the arms out and up, reach up a little bit taller. And then use your exhale, sit back into that chair pose. Oh, nice. So take a breath in to lift your heart 1 time. And then tip it forward, sweep the arms back like wings. So really engaging the quads here. You'll rise up, stand up, breathe in, interlace the fingers, flip the palms high. And then as you exhale, tip over to the right. And then back up through center, breathe in. Lean over to the left. Now it's back up through center, you're standing. Release the hands, but bring them to your hips. Start to shift the weight into the left foot. I want you to pick the right knee up, hip height. Just creating like a 90-degree angle. Maybe roll the right ankle here, wiggle the toes. Take a breath in to reach your hands all the way up. Now as you exhale, start to twist to the right. Take your left hand forward. Maybe it comes outside of your right knee. And then you reach behind you with your right fingertips. Keep your left hand where it is, reach the right hand up, face the front. And then start to cross your right arm on top of the left. Lift your fingertips and wrap your right leg on top, eagle pose. So if you feel really wobbly, maybe it's your right toes that find the ground. But think about squeezing in towards your center and then softening shoulders away from your ears. If that feels like a lot in the shoulders, hands come to the shoulders. Stay, full breath in. Big breath out. Now you get to unravel it all, stamp that right foot, sweep the arms out and up, big breath in, reach up.
And then hands to your hips as you exhale. You just come to the other side, shift to the right foot. Pick the left knee up, hip height. Maybe you roll the ankle, wiggle the toes. And when you're ready, reach the hands high, take a breath in. Twist to your left, right hand forward, maybe to the knee, and reach your left fingertips behind you. Maybe keep the right hand there as you reach the left hand back up, face the front. And create the letter X with the arms. Lift the fingertips, wrap the left leg on top of the right. Hug in towards your inner thighs and up through the crown of your head. Stay, full breath in. Big breath out, you empty. You get to unravel it all, stamp that left foot, sweep the arms out and up, rise up, maybe hands come together above your head. And then use your exhale to just pull your hands into your heart. I want you to close your eyes here and take 3 big breaths. So knowing that your movement doesn't have to be so big to be beneficial. Are you moving? Yes, you're still moving because your body is breathing. So take 3 huge rounds right here. Let them count. Take a full breath into the top. Big breath out to land just as you are, where you are. 2 more like that. Big inhale. Maybe open up the mouth, sigh it out. 1 more like that. Big breath in. Bigger exhale. And then you'll reach your hands up and overhead. 1 last time here to look up. You might bend your knees a lot as you fold forward, bow the chest, drop the head. Take your halfway lift, big breath in, look to the front of your neck. And then walk your hands there, downward facing dog, your last one. Pedal out your feet. Maybe rock your hips side to side. 1 last time to take a breath in, rise up to your toes. And then drop your knees down, tabletop pose. Take that lift of your heart, find cow as you inhale. Press down through your hands, round your back, drop your head, cat as you exhale. Come back to neutral. 1 time to reach the right hand up, you open up. And then exhale to thread it through. Just reach, don't land on the ground. You reach over to the left. And then set the right hand back down. Inhale to reach the left hand up. Big breath in. And then exhale, thread it through, but reach over to the right. And then you'll set the left hand down. Maybe close your eyes here to just take any final movement that feels good. So maybe it's that lateral movement side to side. So thinking of that letter C, back and forth. Maybe you think of creating a circle-like movement, like you were tracing your navel, like a circle on the middle of your mat, both clockwise and counterclockwise. I'm getting into any last spaces that might need just a little bit more love. And then ever so slowly, in your own way that makes sense, find a seat. So you'll just swing your legs around in front of you, give them a little bit of a shake. And then keep your right leg nice and long. Start to bend your left knee, and the sole of your foot can come either to your calf or to your inner thigh, whatever feels good for you. You take your hands behind you and start to lift your chest nice and high. Think about the crown of your head lifting up. And then keep that, reach your hands all the way up towards the sky. Awesome. And then make sure your right foot is active. So think about your toes pointing straight up towards the sky. Take a big breath in. Start to turn your navel, your chest towards your toes. And then nice and easy, a little bit of a fold here. Now it's not about how low you go, but how much space you can create with every breath. So use your inhale to think about your heart reaching beyond your toes to lengthen. And then your exhale to bow the chest back down. Do that one more time. Inhale to lengthen it up. And then your exhale to fold. And then you'll rise back up. Start to lift through the crown of your head. Now you can stay here or take your left hand behind you. Be mindful of that weight on your left knee as you start to pick your seat up. Stamp your right foot down and then maybe reach your right hand away from your right foot. Little bit of a stretch. And then you'll sit back down. And then you'll switch. Left leg goes long. Sole of your right foot comes to the inside of your leg where it wants to land. And then reach your hands up. Turn your chest, your navel towards your left toes. And then you get to fold over that leg. And just for a few breaths here. So inhale again to lengthen. Think heart beyond your toes. Exhale to fold, to deepen, to ground, to land. Maybe one more like that. Inhale to lengthen, create space. And then exhale to fold in. And then you're rising up, either sitting up nice and tall, staying here, or right hand behind your seat. Mindful of that knee as you pick your seat up. Stamp the left foot down and then just reach away from your left foot here. And then you'll sit back down, so nice. And then take your legs out in front of you, one last little shake. Make sure you have enough space behind you. And you can take your hands forward. You can slowly round all the way to your back if it feels better to just drop to your elbows and then find the earth. You land. And then once you're there, bend your knees and plant your feet about hips width distance apart. Feel your sacrum or your low back pressed into the ground and your arms down along your sides. Your palms will face down, and as you press down through the four corners of each foot, start to slowly use your inhale to lift your seat up. Find bridge pose. Now, it doesn't have to be how high your hips go, but how engaged can your hips, your glutes, even the back of your legs be? So as you press down through your feet, just creating a little bit of heat, a little bit more strength there. Take one more breath in. And then exhale to slowly release back down towards the ground. And then taking what we call constructive rest. So walk your feet just a little bit wider apart. Knock your knees together. And then bring your hands right on top of your belly here. Close your eyes. Use this as an opportunity to pause, to find rest. Take a breath in to feel your belly rise into your hands as you inhale. Maybe open up your mouth to find that ease on your exhale. And you can choose to stay here, of course, or if you'd like, take your arms like goalposts, bending at the elbows. And then you'll just split your knees a little bit here and let both knees fall over to the right. So just a gentle twist here, one last one. And then back through center, the knees come and they fall over to the left. And bring the knees back through center. You might even start to hug them in towards your shoulders or your armpits. Just imagine you're drawing them in, but you keep your low back on the ground. The back of your head stays on the ground, and maybe a little rock here, side to side. Take one more big breath in. Can you squeeze your knees in? And then let your legs go long towards the ground. If you'd like any props underneath that feel good, maybe you elevate your hips. Maybe you elevate your knees. Maybe you elevate your head, bringing that pillow to where you'd like it to be, or a blanket underneath you. So as you let your legs start to release, you let your belly, your hips, your chest, your arms release towards the ground. See if you can return to that same sense of pause or awareness that you took in stillness when you were in a seat. So remembering that there is nothing to do here, nothing to fix, nothing to change. Let your eyes stay heavy. Let your shoulders stay soft. And as you create space in the breath, so maybe just returning to that awareness of the pause at the top of the inhale. And pause at the bottom of the exhale. You can start to fill that space with a little bit of ease, or whatever it is that you might feel like you need a little bit more of today on this Friday. Maybe it's patience. Maybe it's compassion. Maybe a little bit of courage. See that word in your mind. Imagine you even breathe in a little bit more of that intention as you inhale. And you let it sit, you let it sink and simmer as you exhale. Take about 2 more rounds like that, breathing all the way into the top. And breathing all the way out to the bottom. Breathe in. Maybe even open up your mouth and empty. And if you are on your back, just slowly start to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. If you're in a seat, you can stay, but we'll all meet there. So once you are seated, think about the crown of your head rising just a little bit higher here, lifting towards the sky. Knowing that you are worthy of taking up this space, and honor yourself for creating space in your day, like this little bit of time, or maybe a lot of time. So you could just pause, observe,
and fill that space with something that serves you. Bring your hands together right in front of your heart. Take a breath in right here. Feel your chest expand towards your thumbs. Maybe open up your mouth again, sigh it out, clear it out. And then just take your thumb tips up to the center of your forehead. You might even tilt your chin or lift your chin up towards the sky. And just letting this practice, whatever it looks like for you today, letting it be a reminder of a way that you can be kind to yourself or invite in just a little more kindness. So then you can share that kindness in your own way with others. Namaste.